Russia's Vladimir Putin has rejected President Trump's ultimatum for Moscow to sign a ceasefire deal with Ukraine in the next 50 days. Trump had threatened to issue a 100% tariff on any country that does business with Russia if no ceasefire deal is reached. CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata joins us now. And Charlie, thanks for being with us. Not exactly an enthused response there. What exactly did Russia say to Trump's latest effort to try to get that deal that would end the war in Ukraine?
Yeah, as you said, flatly rejected it. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said he had no doubt that Russia will cope with any new sanctions. He actually wanted to say he wants to understand what motivated President Trump to make this new 50-day ultimatum, in his words. Kremlin spokesman and honestly de facto Putin spokesman in these situations, Dmitry Peskov said the new sanctions or round of tariffs would only slow peace negotiations, saying it seems that decisions made in Washington and, by extension, NATO countries will be perceived by Kyiv as not a signal for peace, but a continuation of the war. However, they are paying attention. At the same time, he called the recent developments quite serious and that they need to analyze Trump's motives.
Well, Charlie, on the heels of this announcement, there were new reports that President Trump had privately encouraged Ukraine to step up strikes on Russian territory and even asked President Zelensky if Ukraine could hit Moscow. Now, the White House later said Trump was just asking a question, not encouraging an attack. And Trump today said that Zelensky should not target Moscow. But how significant would such an attack be? What did you think when you heard that?
Yeah, he kind of stepped back a bit. He walked that back. And I guess, and I've confirmed that, too, that conversation took place, that they were sort of speaking in hypotheticals. The Ukrainians have already attacked deep inside Russia, including an early drone attack on Moscow itself. If you remember, they went even further with that audacious multi-drone attack which was thousands of miles away from the border, that crippled a number of Russia's long-range bombers. So what we're talking about here is weaponry, specifically weapons supplied by the United States, even if it is through these NATO channels, that would be able to reach inside Russia, that would have a significant impact. Zelensky may have said he would hit Moscow if he could, but he just doesn't have the firepower. And officials that I spoke to today said the United States would not be supplying that firepower, because we're talking about weapons like Tomahawk cruise missiles, and that's just not going to happen. But the Ukrainians have already been supplied with ATACMS. We've discussed that before, which they're not really considered long range in a military scenario, but they can strike targets 190 miles away inside Russia, and they've been used to a significant effect. ATACMS may be part of, in fact, I'm told they're likely to be part of, the new flow of weapons to Ukraine through NATO partners.
Charlie D'Agata, thank you very much. We always appreciate your insight.
Thank you.